Now lines 13 to 16. Paene occupatam seditionibus de levit urbem Dacus et Aetiops, hic classe formidatus ille misilibus melior sagittis. The Dacian Dacus and the Ethiopian Aetiops have virtually destroyed, Paene almost destroyed, Paene de levit, our city urbem, that has been crippled by civil strife, occupatam seditionibus. The latter, hic, that is the Egyptian, Aetiops, dreaded for his fleet, classe formidatus, and the former, ille, that is the Dacian, more lethal, literally better, more lethal, melior, with his flying arrows, misilibus sagittis. The Dacian Dacus. Now the Dacians were from Dacia, the modern Hungary, and Dacian archers served under Antony at the Battle of Actium, this final battle for victory between the two Roman generals that ended the civil wars that had been waged relentlessly for 50 years. And the Ethiopian, now Aetiops equals African equals Egyptian. So by allusion, it comes to refer to, of course, Cleopatra, to the Egyptian troops who manned the fleet for Cleopatra. And these two foreign powers, the Dacians and the Egyptians, have virtually destroyed Paene de levit. De leo, de lera, de levi, de letum is very strong. It refers to total wreckage, a condemnation of the internal conflict going on. Roman fighting against Roman, brother against brother. It was the most terrible curse on the city that has been crippled by civil strife, occupatam seditionibus. Seditio refers to civil war, the most demeaning of conflicts that set brother against brother, and for 50 years had dogged Rome. And then you have the Egyptian, who was marvellous on the water, classe formidatus, and the Dacian, who was marvellous with the arrow, the flying arrows, misilibus sagittis, ablative of instrument. Now that quatrain we've just read is a vigorous reinterpretation of the battle that ended over half a century of civil war. The great contest between Antony and Octavian, Augustus, for supremacy, ended with that battle, the Battle of Actium off the west coast of Greece. Well, they were under authority to chop wood and carry in the bundles, requisos portare fustes. Notice how succinct Latin can be. 3 words. Portare, like vesare, is dependent on doctor. Doctor, vesare. They were taught to turn the earth, vesare glibus, and they were taught, doctor, portare, to carry. Fustes are sticks really for threshing grain, but here it's really chopped up wood for the hearth. And requisos is a perfect passive participle, having been cut down in the first place from trees. And it's a compound verb from kaido, not kado, but kaido, kaido, kekidi, kaisum, in line 35. But the literal to carry cut down wood needs to be expanded into a more elegant English translation. So that's why I've said to chop wood and carry in the bundles. When the sun shifted the shadows on the mountains, sol ubi montium mutaret ombras, and lifted the yoke from the weary oxen, et yuga demeret bobus fatigatis. Demo, dempsi demptum, means to take away, to remove. And both mutaret and demeret are imperfect subjunctives. See, this is virtually indirect speech, following on the mother's orders. What the mother did was to order them to cut down these trees and bring in the logs so that they have wood at night around the fire. And she ordered them to do that when the sun was setting, because they've been out in the fields all day, ploughing the fields. As his chariot departed, abiunte koru, an ablative absolute, the present participle, abiunte, bringing a welcome time of rest, agens, bringing in, drawing in, amicum tempus, a friendly time, a welcome time of rest. Let's just go through that again, because it's been fairly sophisticated. But these were the manly offspring of yeoman soldiers, taught to turn over the clods with their Sabine hoes, and at the bidding of a stern mother, to chop wood and carry in the bundles. When the sun shifted the shadows on the mountains and lifted the yoke from the weary oxen, bringing a welcome time of rest, as the sun's chariot departed. It's a beautiful reverie at the close of the day on the Sabine farm. Now we come to the last 4 lines, the final quatrain, the 12th quatrain. Dam nosa quid non in minuit dies, aetas parentum peior avis, tolit nos nequiores, mox datures progeniem vitiosiorem. Alas, the generations move from bad to worse. You can compare some of those Old Testament passages, such as the one you have in Exodus. The sins of the fathers will be visited upon the children and the children's children, until the 3rd and 4th generation. What does the ruinous passage of time not diminish? Dam nosa quid non imminuit dies. Our parents' age, aetas parentum, worse than that of our grandparents, peior avis, has brought forth us, who are still worse, tolit nos nequiores, and who soon will breed descendants even more degenerate. Mox daturos progeniem vitiosiorem. What a mournful polysyllabic last line. Notice in the first line, damnosa quid non iminuit dies. Dies is feminine, dies damnosa. And here dies really means time rather than day, a period of time, the passage of the years. Now dies is also feminine when a special day is declared. In the old requiems, dies illa was the day of judgment, dies illa, that day when all will appear before the throne of the Lord to answer for their lives. Dies illa is a day of judgment in ecclesiastical Latin. In 11 words, the last two polysyllabic and gloomy, Horace encapsulates the seeds of civil collapse. A Jeremiad indeed. As a poem proceeds, the tone becomes progressively more sombre. The poet's gaze travels back beyond the disasters of civil war to a more deep-seated cause, even more than the neglect of the gods, which after all was being remedied by Augustus by his beginning the restoration of 82 temples in the very first year of his principate, 28 BC. But the evils of civil conflict cannot be regarded as a thing of the past, so long as the Romans refuse moral reform. Our rebirth of respect for the gods is good, but it does not address the far more widespread and dangerous cancer in the national identity, chaos in the family. Well, that's our second and last Roman ode. I hope you have fun with it.